conversation. Whereas Nigeria prepares for its 64th Independence Day celebration on the 1st of October, many citizens remain unperturbed due to the harsh economic realities in the country. As a result, organizers of the Fearless in October protest have maintained that a nationwide protest will hold on Tuesday, despite pleas from stakeholders and the federal government. This protest is coming barely 2 months after the last hunger protest and will be the second mass protest to hit President Tinubu-led administration since inauguration. In response, the federal government has urged protesters to refrain from acts of violence, while state governments have begun deployment of police officers to maintain peace and order during the protest. Now, BKO, the End Bad Governance was held on the 1st of August, and now another protest tagged Fearless October is scheduled to hold tomorrow. 1 day to the countdown. What do you make of the protest? That's even if it holds. But what do you make of the protest?
Well, Nigerians have every reason to show their anger about the hunger that stalks our land. They have every reason to get government to try to solve some of the big problems facing us as a people. I have no reservations, I have no opposition to a peaceful protest.
A peaceful protest?
I have no... Look at what happened in Lagos that last time. It was a peaceful protest. They don't go overboard.
True.
The protesters conducted themselves in a very civilized manner. But what we saw in some states of northern Nigeria, you can't call what we saw protest.
Daylight robbery.
It was bedlam all the way and designed to steal from the people. It's like the masses stealing from the masses. So how is that a protest? Where you are even raiding mosque. In Kano, they entered the mosque and stole the rugs. Is that a protest? A protest designed to steal from innocent people?
Innocent people.
Those who made their money without government help. Because there are so many Nigerians who are millionaires in their own right. Whatever they've become, they became without the support of government. And you go and rob those people. It makes no sense. If we will have protests, and I've said it before, that the kind of protest that those, even before things degenerated, I said the kind of protest that those guys had in mind, there's no way they will be able to control it. Because hell will be let loose. These boys who have been looking for an opportunity to loot will seize the opportunity and loot. So I wonder about it. And that was what happened. Let's have protests, but those protests must not be hijacked. Don't block the roads. Have your protests localized in an area. Your voice will still be heard loud and clear. It is not until you start looting.
Okay, Biko, just let's take a moment to share with you a documentary of Nigeria's 64th anniversary. Journalist Hangouts will continue on other platforms. Don't go anywhere. All right, so let's get back to the conversation. Biko, looking at this, they said the protest will happen tomorrow, but if you were the president of this country, what will you be telling Nigerians at this time? And also the president probably watching you, what advice will you give to him? Remember the protest, the Fearless October for tomorrow?
We have to ease the pains on our people.
Simple.
It's as simple as that.
Simple.
And it's possible. It's possible. And his aides have to be on the same page with him to make that happen.
Okay.
If the president wants to ease the pain on our people, and some of his aides constitute themselves to a stumbling block, he should fire them. He should send them packing. It's as simple as that.
Yesterday, true.
He should send them packing. What are they doing? What's their job? The president was talking about the fact that some of his aides are not even telling Nigerians what he's doing. What are you still doing with them?
Oh.
We know some of the people that he's talking about. We are waiting. The cabinet reshuffle or this should be an opportunity to send such people packing because they are not productive. How many of the ministers are productive? So there is anger in the land. People want some changes to happen.
True.
Mr. President has to look at some of his policies. Yes, people have come
take a look at it again.
That policy flip-flops do not help us.
Okay.
But some of us will have, for example, on the matter of floating, some of us will have wanted to see what you call the managed float. We are not the only ones who are floating. People are abusing me. You supported floating. Egypt has floated its currency. Ethiopia too, they floated their currency. So it's not as if it's a new thing. But we are saying, given the peculiar nature of our country, let's have a managed float. A managed float shouldn't have taken us to 1,700 naira to $1. They will say, what does he know about this thing? But I know how it affects our people. You may say that, what does he know about the economy? What does he know about business and finance? Oh, I agree. Also, but I know how it affects me. I know how it affects Emeka. And I know how it affects, even though you are decked out in a pair of suits.
It affects
It affects
But, Emeka, Biko talked about the policies. But why does it look as if Nigerians are finding it difficult to understand the key policies of this administration? And also, are Nigerians asking for too much?
A hungry man is an angry man. In fact, I'm even surprised that people will still even have the energy to come out to protest. But people are hungry. They've been battered by hunger. There are people who trek long distances every day to work and back because they can't sit in the house. Some are even being owed salaries because the employers themselves are helpless. So it's not just about policies. You see, policies that don't put food on the table of Nigeria, on the tables of Nigerians, cannot, cause anything but indigestion. It's true. If they are not, it will wound the innards, their intestines, because there is no food there, and the body needs food on a regular basis. So the thing is not just about appreciating policies. What we need is that make sure these policies, tinker with them in such a way.
Second look
in such a way. Yes, you have said, for instance, that people should go back to the farms. Okay. There are people who have gone back, like myself, but the issue is this: there are many people who like to go to farms or who have been driven away from their farms because of insecurity. And people expect that government will give a much. I know the armed forces are doing well. I commend them. They are doing very well, tremendously well. But you see, there needs to be a kind of trick in such a way that at least a number of areas will be freed so that people can go to then the IDP camps. A lot of those people there are farmers. They need to be moved back to the farms. Because and then cost of transportation is another problem. If there's a way that food can get to the people, people will appreciate it.
After the hunger protest, the president had a broadcast. Paragraph 31 of the president's broadcast, the president said, "I have heard you loud and clear."
But the hunger is still beating. The hunger is still beating in the stomach of the people. So I've heard you loud and clear. Yes, Mr. President. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for hearing us loud and clear. But the hunger beating in our stomachs is beating louder than what the president is saying. So the point is this: look, the government says it's doing this, but yes, we appreciate it. People appreciate, no doubt, you know. But
the hunger is beating the talking drum.
The hunger is beating the talking drum. And you see, just like a man, the children are crying that they are hungry. You're telling them, wait, I'm expecting. No.
I expect something good.
No, they want food. So the thing is this: government has to think of a way. You know, maybe look at, you know, quick measures. They are saying that, you see, people are saying that this palliative being sent through the governors is a wrong move. Better flood the markets.
Crash the price.
Crash the price.
Sell directly to them.
Sell the price. Yes, sell directly to the people. Nigerians are very hardworking people. But you know, yes.
So and if middlemen would not.
That's right. You see, that's why government. I tell people, government.
You sell directly to them. You eliminate the middlemen.
You eliminate the middlemen.
I tell people, government has power. Look, if government wants to crash price and make sure that middlemen don't come in, government knows what to do. That's why God gave government authority. So government should use its power. Deal with these middlemen. Let them go. You know, they may not go totally, but at least if in the interim, between now and December, let prices of foodstuff come down. If these things come down,
let the value of our currency.
Of course,
we've been told, for example, that with Dangote, with local refining, 40% of our foreign exchange needs will no longer be needed.
True.
Because we spend 40% of our forex importing
products,
PMS. So when they're saying, okay, local production will help us eliminate that, and then we will have liquidity, dollar liquidity, as against the illiquidity that we are going through. Hopefully, that liquidity will help the naira to appreciate, because we must do something about the currency. Maybe I'm the only person who feels like this. It bothers me more than anything else.
Yes.
It bothers me more than anything else.
It's true.
So what are those quick wins that you think needs to be done? Okay, you talked about the floating. You talked
managed floats.
You also talked about selling directly, like rice.
Yes, we don't need to sell. We don't need to share money
to governors.
If we bring down the price and sell to people,
okay.
Honestly, it will benefit the people a lot more. They will be happy. Maybe Lagos State government created something like that.
Yes.
Even eggs and other commodities. Yes, they said to them, let that be what we'll be doing going forward, because these things are being diverted.
Yes.
These things are being rebagged. So since we have devious people in Nigeria who will not allow this little efforts to help the poor people succeed, then we must then change our tactics. We can't be using the same tactics when clearly those tactics are not bearing the fruits.
All right,
the cost of petrol, they need to.
Some people buy 1,400 naira in some parts of Nigeria.
Sure. Yes, people are crying the cost of petrol. People are crying.
How time flies when we talk Nigeria. How time flies when we talk Nigeria. But anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having this conversation. The veteran.
You too.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you. And that's it on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episodes tonight at 11 and join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangouts on Sunday. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Benga Oresh.